Hi there, welcome back to Torment with our clever explorer. And now this is a special episode because it's really a little bit of Torment, but I need to pass the time. And I think I can still do what you like. So, yeah, I've got some kind of a flu, so if my voice is not as usual, that's the reason. My throat hurts, but it's not influenced by talking or not talking. So, let's go for some real Torment, Tides of Numenera. I think we've just talked to Mallet and about the murders in the Rue Morgue, and we'll now go to Kiatawa and ask him or her. She doesn't spare words on you this time, she merely nods, her very gaze cataloguing the position of everyone in the room. Bitu says I can ask you about the murders in the underbelly. Yeah, she says, looking over at the old man. He nods. Good, I have to say I'm not surprised the murderer's trail led you in here. What do you want to know? Well, do you have any idea who the murderer is? No, she says, resting her hands on her hips, but I've seen what they left behind of Folsom's boy. A mess. Blood on the walls and floor, no body. She flicks a strand of hair out of her eyes. That's the kind of death you see when someone's sending a warning or holding a grudge. I saw it all the time before I came here. Aha, what did you do before? Working for the Circle's not a warning, it's a sign. So she says this is a warning, but she's lying because it's a sign. Why do you think someone called Folsom's protege? Why, she says with something approaching a grin. Why? This is someone Folsom cared about. He's got a lot of enemies. Why do you think? Mallet says he caught you eating a corpse on your own. Yeah, maybe Mallet should mind his business, she says, shooting an angry look at the hulking cultist. Sure, it's true. I don't like being down here more than I have to, all right? I barely even sleep anymore and keep getting the feeling that they are waiting for me to die, wondering what I'd taste like.
Updated my journal.
Not too long ago, I found a corpse in an alley near Circus Minor, and I didn't see why I should share it with this lot. She drags her fingers through her hair. That's it, no secret, no scandal. And since Mallet thinks he can share my hunting with strangers, maybe you should ask him how many corpses he's found on his own, or if they were actually dead when he found them. Scanthals, Mallet's killed and eaten. I'm sure of it. Probably they all do. I want to know your opinions on the other Dendra. Ha, she says, all right, don't expect me to hold back. Ibitu, what do you think of him? He's lived too long, she says. Maybe the Dendra was something once, but he's just looking for his next meal now, and the rest of them are following his example. How about Mallet? He likes hurting people. More than that, he's proud of it. She runs an angry hand through her hair and lowers her voice. I'm not sure, but I think he's been killing rivals from his old life and eating them. Scanthals, I know he killed. He probably ate too. Why wouldn't he? And what do you think of Xay? She used to be worse than she is. If you haven't talked to her yet, you'll see what I mean. She glances at the mutant uneasily. Maybe all those corpses she's eating on her own are bringing Sakas into her head. Civilizing her, maybe. She shakes her head, but that just means she's a predator who knows the mind of her prey. Scanthals, she's a monster. Certainly she's murdered to eat. Why wouldn't she? Oh my god. She thinks it's absolutely okay to murder to eat. And that's why she thinks it of everyone else. Some other questions? I bet, she says. Out with it then. Farewell. Maybe we'll find out something without asking about the Endless Gate. So let's talk to Xay now. We welcome you back, tenderling, she croons, as if singing to a tasty child. Ugh. Immanuel says I can ask you about the murders in the underbelly now. Small eyes glow with humor, but flicker first to the leader of the Dendrauer. He nods. Ask your questions, tenderling, she says, stroking the back of her hand with her claws. Even this gentle motion draws blood. Scanthal's murder? How can it be murder with no body? What do you know about the murders? Oh, tenderling, she chuckles, delighted. You use the wrong word over and over. There's no murder if there's no body. This was... And she uses a word you do not recognize, a gruesome combination of clicking teeth and growling consonants. And so, nothing was lost.
I'll remember that.
What? We do not know who is responsible, she says, scratching her cheek. Blood spills unheeded from the wound. Kiatawa and mallets sneak about during the night. They swallow their secrets. Their Dendra are here to serve their power and hunger, not to honor the dead, not for... She uses the word again, snapping her jagged teeth with great satisfaction. They are not capable of such kindness. Scan thought, why is she so interested in a soul that was not lost? Very strange. What is that word you use to describe murder? That clicking, growling word. Word, she says, blinking. Oh yes, your language does not have the word, so we use our own. She clicks her teeth together thoughtfully, then answers. We know of murder, of course. To leave a body to rot is to say that the soul inside is not worth keeping. This we punish. This decision is not for anyone to make. The word we speak of it is the opposite. On my world, when one of us dies or is killed, we eat their flesh and take their souls into our body. We feel the light of them reach our corners. She raises a claw, smiling. They become we, you understand? I see. You only think it's a murder if the murderer doesn't eat the entire body. Yes, she says, clapping her hands together with delight. You understand. Ah, this murder is no murder. She pronounces the word with obvious scorn. We know the details. A skinned hand in blood. Circles on the wall, she says, making a sking noise. Tenderlings play with their food. Perhaps your murderer is young. They do not know they should finish. The hands strip the memories of hard work from the tendons, crunch the bones, slurp the blood from the floor. She shakes her head fondly. Tenderlings. Perhaps this tenderling thinks what I do is murder. She's wrong. You don't think Kiatawa or Mallet killed any of the victims? We never said that, she says, playfully biting her tongue. They kill, but they do not honor. They do not understand who they are. Right, I have the feeling we could ask her about the children of the Endless Gate. Do you know about a group called the Children of the Endless Gate? We know it, she says, frowning, but we are not sure how. She drums her claws against her chin, drawing pinpricks of blood. Yes, bloody circles left on the sides of junkyard dwellings outside the bloom. In shadows, beware the endless gates. Like a little woman, the people of that community say, it still makes us laugh, such sweetness. And where did you see them again? In the junkyard, outside the bloom, but not yesterday, not last year. A time ago, and then the circles appeared no more. Perhaps the ones who drew them moved on. All right, I'm done asking about the murders. Murder, murder, she grumbles. That word, that word. Ah. You don't want to tell me about the Dendra or her. Want, we do not speak of one tenderling. We do not deserve to tell you. She smiles. Imbitu is our voice. All right, farewell. We miss you, tenderling, all of you.
Yes.
Ah, let's speak to Imbitu again. Maybe he wants to help us? We'll see. Ah, Orestes' corpse. Imbitu beams at you, clasping his skeletal hands together like a tangle of twigs. Such a curiosity you are. Share another vision with me. Imbitu closes his eyes and begins to speak. His eyes open again. That's it. Everything else is a muddle for now. Can you come back in, say, a year or so? All right. More questions about the trouble. Oh dear, I was hoping it was all over by now. Farewell. No, we need to find out now. Okay, we just got to investigate. It's just that way. We got to be careful. Kiatava, I think, is the murderer. Because she always talks of that. She doesn't spare words on you this time. She merely nods her wary gaze, cataloguing the position of everyone in the room. More questions about the murders in the underbelly. Do you know anything about the Endless Gate? No, she says, never heard of them. Are you sure? Shakes her head, looking confused. All right, farewell. Mullet? Maybe he is it after all. What do you want, shill meat? He says, leering. More questions about the murders, man. Have you ever heard of something called the Endless Gate? No, he says. Strange name, though. If it don't end, it ain't much of a gate, is it? It's more of a hallway. Yeah. Oh, farewell. But there's one left here. The Devourer of Wrongs. Towering figure appears to be staring into a pocket of shadow in the corner of the chapel. It does not acknowledge your arrival in any way. Bitu says I can ask you about the murders in the underbelly. Good. Devourer of Wrongs rumbles at once, as though it had been waiting for the news. I would have the murderer caught, and caught quickly. It angers me that all of this transpired while I was attending to Riz. Despite the statement, the creature's voice is as placid as a subterranean pond. I assume you are here because one of the Dendra Her is suspected of being the murderer. I will tell you what I know. I have known Imbitu through many minds. He's subtle, clever, and untrustworthy. He is also no murderer. It casually clenches a gloved fist. That leaves the other three. They are all capable of the crime. Mallet is ambitious and desires revenge. Ketava sneaks, plots, and keeps secrets. Xay is not human. Does not define murder as we do. Creature's fist falls to his side once more. Talk to them. Search for holes in their stories. These will lead you to the truth. Which of one do you think is responsible? Mallet, Xay, or Kiatawa could be the murderer. Question them and look for falsehoods. These will lead you to the truth. What's your role in the city's executions again? I eat the dead and learn the details of their crimes through the memories that are bound within their flesh. All right, farewell. Okay, we don't have to. We cannot give up here. Let's look in the journal. What have we learned? Circles in red. So we know that Kiatava was lying. She suggested that I ask Mallet how many corpses he has found on his own. And oh yeah, a hint about Kiatava. And Xay, yeah, I have the feeling it's maybe Kiatava. Well, then let's go to Circus Minor. And ask them. Ask them about it. Let's go to Circus Minor. Forward we go.
Trust and honesty are our bonds.
Or maybe Meshela knows something. Let's find out. Do you know something? In a stall filled with all manner of dusty parts, connectors, and strange devices, a woman tinkers with a half-assembled power source, peering at it through spectacles that have several adjustable lenses. Her long white hair is disheveled, and the skin of her thin frame is marked with small scars and burns. She looks up curiously as you approach. Welcome to McCullough's Mechanicals. I got a bunch of broken stuff and few things that work. You want any of it, let me know. Oh no. Farewell. Aye aye, off you go. Pauper here, a mutant. There's Aligan. No one of these people we want to talk to. Go to Circus Minor and ask the merchants what they know. About Kiatawa. Our good stonecrafter would be a good idea, right? He has definitely seen something. You could describe Kiatawa to him and see if me maybe has seen her and not the sorrow. But this rock I found. Yeah, we would first go to the sculptor Seyofi. Hey Seyofi. Seyofi glowers blankly. The sky, his battered fingers sculpting the air, his lips moving silently. So you're still at an impasse? It's not impasse is a kind word. I call it stuck, defeated, useless. And about the Dendra or her? A pack of damnable cause gobblers and corpsed gobblers? No. Let's talk to Prata. Oh, hello. Here to shop or just to chat or both? Have you seen a Dendra or her woman in the market lately? Ah, she says, her mandibles click. No, near the market, yes. I was closing up shop and only noticed her because she was staggering a little and talking to herself. Remember what that Dendra, her woman you saw, was saying?
Updated my journal.
Something about circles, Prata says, clicking her mandibles. That's it, she kept talking about a hollow circle, a red hollow circle. I didn't know the Dendra, her, got drunk. Alright, thank you and farewell. There's the slavers. We could ask Tolmagur again. She might want Rin or us again. Tolmagur's face softens as he catches sight of Rin. You're welcome to stay with me, Rin. You need not have this vagabond life. Rin shakes her head on once sharply. I made my choice. Can't blame me for trying. Her face is wan. Best of luck to you, child. Alright, nothing more. Let's seek. Let's seek back. Circles in red. Ah. So definitely Mallet has nothing to do with this, probably. He's just a power monger. Kiatawa is strange. And Gezi, she would have eaten them full, probably. Yeah, we know she lied. That's why we think she is it. And now this thing about the circles.
Let's go. I'm ready. Of course.
Let's go back to the underbelly. Let's see what we'll find out. Speak to this guy. I mean, there's another entrance to the underbelly, and it would lead here, maybe. I don't know. She was in Circus Minors, so she would have got him in. We'll go back here and we'll confront her again. Huh.
In an instant.
Hey, Kiatawa. She doesn't spur words on you this time. She merely nods, her wary gaze cataloguing the position of everyone in the room. She's preparing a flight, maybe. I want to know more about you. Ask away, she says. Why did you join the Dendrohur again? To find the man who speaks to me in my dreams, she says. My father. Right, I've got questions about something else. Fine, ask. More about the murders in the underbelly. Go on, she says. A merchant in Circus Minor said they spotted you staggering around and talking about hollow circles. Is that right? She says, scratching the back of her neck. Doesn't sound familiar, but maybe I was drunk. Scan thoughts, it's these voices, memories. I know myself even less than I did before. Are you sure you've never heard of the Children of the Endless Gate before? Shakes her head, looking confused. Ah. Okay, let's talk to Mallet again. This is really dangerous. More questions about the murders. Right, she says, smirking. Go on. Let's talk about your eating habits again. Again, Mallet says. Yeah, sure. Ask away. Kiatawa says you've been killing people instead of waiting for them to die.
Making a note.
People, she said that. She shoots a dark look at Kiatawa. Yeah, all right, but not people, he says, stretching his thick neck. Was just the one. Someone, yeah, I ain't gonna give you a name who stole something from me once. And the fact that you ain't here asking about him means no one misses him. You sound like a man with a lot of grudges. Sure you didn't decide to settle some with Folsom? You must think I'm an idiot, he says. Sometimes grudges pay off, right? Make you feel good right in your gut. Slaps his belly. But no one ever gets the better of Folsom. Even if I killed every one of his protégés, and I'm not saying I killed even one, the man would have me skinned and hung before I dropped my club. Settle grudges? Sure, settle grudges with Folsom. No, never. Sure you haven't killed anyone else since you joined the Dendrohur? Yeah, I'm sure, he says. His usual smile, however, is missing. Why do you eat corpses if it troubles you so much again? It doesn't trouble me. It just ain't easy, but it'll get better. Look at Imbitu. He's been doing this a long time. You glance at Imbitu. The elderly head of the Dendrohur waves and gives you a huge rotten grin. Need to get into this. What did you gain from eating me again? Rich morsels, tart emotion, crunchy secrets. What do your people believe? Consume the flesh of our dead to preserve them, to remember them, give them eternal life. Yeah, she wasn't it. It can only be Kiatawa, probably. Let's talk to Imbitu. Ah, restless corpse. Such a curiosity you are. More about the trouble in the underbelly. Oh dear, I was hoping it was all over by now. Spoken to all of you, and I think I know who the murderer is. Ah, he says, looking uncomfortable. Good, were these decades ago I would handle the investigation myself, but I am perhaps a little past my prime. He drops his voice to a whisper. His breath is sour, and a wild light dances in the deep places of his eyes. Bring your suspicions to Fulsome. He will take the correct actions, he always does. Ah. Where were you when Fulsome's protege was killed? No. Farewell. Take care. Take great care.
Ready.
Oh my god. This is gonna be terrible. I know it. The terrible secret. Where do we find Fulsome? Was he here? I'm not really sure. I think he was here. Walking around here.
Fine.
The paranoid man. We could ask him too. Crooked Quick, be a lesson to everyone. No one's safe from the jagged dream. Hey, Fulsome. He beckons at you, a hard, sharp motion. His jaw set, his teeth partly bared. Someone else was murdered in your absence, he says. The woman called Crooked Quick was killed beside the water. He turns his face to you. I ask that you share any new information that you have. And if you not have any, find some. First Imbitu says he was with you when the first murder occurred. Is that true? Yes, Fulsome says. He does not elaborate. I've discovered that the children of the Endless Gate may be involved in Weedle's murder. Interesting. Imbitu told me the group had been crushed long ago. I would count it a favor if you continued your investigation. Speak with Imbitu and his acolytes. Tell me if you believe one of them is responsible. Scan thoughts. Imbitu called the sect an infection once. Perhaps they have relapsed. Do you have any new insights on the killer's motives? Yeah, info per info. I do not. Weedle was a cornerstone of my plan for this city, he says, his voice tight. His death pains me and will hurt the city in the years to come. He shakes his head slowly, tendons leaping in his neck, but Quick's death has only robbed the underbelly of her smile. I cannot imagine why she was a target. Scan thought the killer might be mistaken. Confused is more likely. So that's definitely Kiatawa. I know who the murderer is. Do you? He says, a gleam in his eyes. Tell me. The young woman Kiatawa. Interesting, he says, a quiet woman, somewhat fragile. I have sensed instability in her, but not the aptitude for violence. I'll be interested to learn what my people can extract from her. And here, out of character, I'm really interested if she's the right choice, or if you steer the story of the game here. I would say both is possible. Signals to his bodyguards. They slip from his side and flit toward the Dendra Herd Chapel at the Flat Run. Sometime later, the bodyguards race back to Fulsome's side. One of them whispers in his ear, and he nods. Kiatawa was already gone, he says. She must have suspected you were close to proving her guilt. At least she has fled, and I doubt she'll return, he growls deep in his throat. If you ever see her again, feel free to do the same thing to her that she did to my people. He gestures to one of his bodyguards, and she hastens forward with your reward. Fulsome looks away. Farewell, godling. Don't go taking any souvenirs from the crime scene, hear me? Okay, so thank you for watching and happy gaming to you. We'll see each other in the next episode and investigate further about the secrets of this place. And we'll level up time here. So have a good time until then and happy gaming.